Hey, welcome back. So, I had another big pile of mail. I haven't even finished uploading the first pile of mail video, and I thought I'd do this. Thought it'd be fun. Yeah, I've been real bored lately, and I've been saving my money, not wasting my money on alcohol or cigarettes. So, it looks like I've spent a little bit more money in the collecting department. I'm going to be cutting myself off from that, I think. But all this stuff is stuff I've been waiting on, some as long as 2.5, 3 weeks. The whole situation with media mail right now in the USPS, so these things kind of just like arrive in waves. But I'm very excited to receive this. This is a package from Nevada from Mr. Analog Archives, Dennis, and he hit me up randomly and told me that he had this for me. The second Whiplash LP, Ticket to Mayhem. Original Road Racer pressing, which is really fucking awesome of him. Thank you very much, sir. I haven't heard this since I was a kid. I had it in high school. Was kind of lukewarm on it back then. I think that's why he was like, I'll send you a copy, see if you change your mind about it. I was talking about Whiplash, Insult to Injury, the third one, on a cassette update not too long ago. Mentioned how I thought it was a little... It was just a Whiplash I didn't know, with like more melodic kind of vocals. Some pretty good music on it, like a little bit more technical than the prior records. Power and Pain, of course, we know is a classic New York thrash metal record, but I wasn't sure if this was good or not. I hadn't heard it in so long. Can easily enough pull it up on YouTube or something like that, but it just kind of takes away the fun. So he sent me a copy, which is awesome. I'm gonna hit him back with a thank you item next week, which is cool. Thanks, dude. This already opened. Just had to look at these bad boys, make sure I'm not holding these upside down. These are A1 Meats skateboard wheels. These are one of those things that they used to make in the early 90s. I think they were just wheels. I don't think they made boards or trucks or hardware or anything. I know they had shirts, because there's a pretty iconic picture of Integrity in their first record, Those Who Fear Tomorrow, with the bassist Misha I think it's Misha, or maybe one of the Melnicks, wearing an A1 Meats t-shirt. But I have these on another setup that I have. For whatever reason, they're real cheap on eBay. Like wheels, skateboard components in general aren't cheap even on eBay these days. Wheels generally go for like $35, $40. I bought the other pair I had, which are black, for like $22, and they're great wheels as far as I can tell. I'm not a super good skateboarder or anything, but I like them. 60 millimeters, and I think 101A durometer, if you know anything about that sort of thing. They're pretty hard, bro. I got a tape, Discogs order here. All right. Ooh, nice. Didn't know I had, this is nice. Cassette copy of Rock for Life by the Bad Brains. If you can see that there's a hype sticker that was saved. I love it when people do that, because I do that. Remixed and digitally remastered by Rick Ocasek. Contains bonus 3 tracks. So if you didn't know, Rick Ocasek from the Cars, I think he produced it as well. But most versions of this that you can find are this mix, which are weirdly, like, ever so slightly sped up, which is odd. I listened to the original version of it, which is pretty hard to find, but you can find downloads of it pretty much everywhere on the internet. And it sounds weird to me, like at a normal speed. I had a CD of this for years and lost it. Only Bad Brains record of the 80s that I didn't own. You know, with cassettes, used cassettes, you're always rolling the dice. This looks in okay shape. A little musty, maybe, a little yellowed. To be expected. It's from the 80s. So hopefully the cassette itself plays all right. We'll see. What's up next? We'll open this one next. This is a little guy. We'll open the little guy. Oh, I already opened it. A new needle for my record player, new Stylus. I am one of those people that once in a blue moon is an idiot and leaves my record player on. It's a pretty basic, stripped down, simple record player. Sounds good. U-turn orbit. It doesn't automatically reject, and I'll once in a blue moon leave it on for days. And I'm always worried about the needle fucking up the records. Doesn't seem to really sound different when I do that, but I can't not buy a new Stylus. So there we go. Ortophon Stylus for anybody who cares. Next up, got a couple of shirts from eBay. Got myself a nice Septic Death Kichigai shirt there. I'm sure it's not legit. Great album art there, 7-inch art rather. And Rudy P. Rudimentary P9 Cacophony shirt. Two great bands, iconic bands that I love, and I wanted to own shirts by, so I bought them. And I know what this is, and I don't think it's anything exciting. There's a picture of what this is included by the eBay seller. These are blank tapes. It's weird, I'm doing this tape trade with my friend Mario, and we're making each other a lot of dubs. And I noticed that the cost of blank tapes is exponentially increasing. It used to be, even two years ago, maybe 3 years ago, like not long after I moved into this house, I could go down to the Walgreens on the corner, which historically, by the way, in Salem, Mass, is one of the sites where they hung witches back in the day. It's a fun little morbid fact for you. But I'd go to that Walgreens, and the tapes were, it was like a 5-brick of like 90-minute Maxell tapes for $12, maybe, something like that, maybe less. And now I look on Amazon and eBay, and the same ones are like 20. So I've been kind of exploring eBay and buying these dead stock cassettes that are still sealed, that are clearly from the 80s and 90s. You can see there. You put your Flock of Seagull mix on these. And I haven't, I worried about the age and stuff, but I've been buying these old ones, and I haven't had a single issue with like quality at all. So there's that. And then finally, saved the big order for last. Been waiting on this for a while, maybe, 12 days or something. Not a big deal. I've mentioned before, media mail's real weird in Massachusetts, right around here. I'll order stuff literally from places like a few miles away, like Death Wish Inc. They are in a neighboring town, I think Beverly, and Bridge 9 is also right around the corner. A couple of those hardcore labels are up here. Triple B in Boston isn't too far away. What else is nearby? Painkiller Records, before they did all their distribution through Death Wish, were just in Cambridge. All these Massachusetts labels and stuff, if I ordered it media mail, would go to New Jersey first and then come back here. It was always kind of weird and frustrating. I'm well over it now. I don't care. This is an order from Armageddon down in, looks like the Cambridge location. No, actually, I'm sorry, Providence, so a bit further away. But it definitely went all the way to New Jersey first and took a long time because of shipping situation with COVID and everything. I'm not mad about it at all. I can wait for my records. It's totally fine. Especially because you out there in YouTube land probably can tell how rapidly I purchase stuff, which is going to be changing within the next month or so. Let me get this open. Let's get all this out first. Very well packaged, of course. Okay. Alright, so LP at the top here. This is Balance of Terror. They were from New York. Kind of a short-lived band that were around. I remember seeing them on flyers as early as '99, I think. Gloomy hardcore, had one member of Death Threat, one word, Death Threat. Super good, ripping, like, I wouldn't say D-beat necessarily, but this kind of like newer wave of thrash that was happening at the time. Thrashy hardcore, no metal really involved. One word, Death Threat, Talk is Poison. I've been mentioning these bands a lot lately. Maybe I'm feeling a little nostalgic, but perfect fast hardcore bands. You know, involving a little bit more of like a Japanese and Scandinavian influence. You can hear plenty of American early 80s hardcore in there as well. Stan, the guitarist, was the guy from Death Threat, who was also in a really good band called Repercussions and a band called Signal Lost. He moved to Texas after this. This was recorded in 2002, but I think they were around they started, I think, in 2000, come to think of it. Jeff, the drummer, has been in a bunch of Boston bands too. He still lives around here. He's a lawyer now. One of the good ones. And we got a bunch of CDs and a bunch of tapes. First up for the CDs, we've got Born Dead Icons with Work. This came out, I don't know, early 2000s. Yeah, I must have been feeling nostalgic for this stuff because I've been buying up a bunch of it lately. I have this on a cassette that compiles like everything this band did, this Quebec band. Cassette's a little bit beat up and got some wow and flutter on it, so I figured I'd get a CD. I love this band, you know, somewhere between Motorhead and Amoebics. Plotting, later on they're getting a little Wipersy. Very good, fucking dark, mid-paced hardcore stuff from Canada. Organic Infest, The Weight of Temptation. This was $2. I have the first Organic Infest record. This is a little bit different. I listened to it online just to check it out. Puerto Rican death metal band. They got a lot more blackened on this from the snippets that I checked out online, but still had the really weird raw production that their first full length on Turbo JL is known for. Very very cool stuff, but you know, it's $2. I'm like, man, let me check this out. Then I'm not sure how to pronounce this. This is a Finnish band, Finnish hardcore band, Vanmiele. Controversial History. This is on 6 Weeks Records. This band was around in the very early 90s, 91 and 90, probably into the mid to late 90s, I think. But they were like a punk band, kind of like crusty dudes, but were militant straight edge. So like real oddball kind of band. Nothing quite like that going on at the time. You know, pretty like pissed lyrics about like, I hope you choke on your beer and like that. You know, like Project X kind of style stuff, but like crusty dudes. And the music's fast, like frantic, kind of falling apart hardcore with really screechy vocals, not straight edge sounding really at all, which is cool. Then I've got this Deadhead first album, I think, Feast Begins at Dawn. First album and a bunch of demo stuff. The Festering demo, Metal in Rocks 2 compilation level demo, and From Belial demo. This band is from Holland. I'd heard the name. Mario from Costa Rica turned me on to them a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago. Caused me to give them another listen. I was like, yeah, I remember that skull. And I remember hearing the name, and it's one of those names like Are You Dead or something like that, or Demented Ted. It's like not the coolest name, so you kind of tend to disregard bands sometimes if they have silly names. But it's like good thrashy, straightforward, relatively simple, like early death metal style, you know, for fans of, I'd say, like Master and Gorefest and stuff like that. It's very Dutch. It's good. Then Slapshot, Greatest Hits, Slashes, and Cross-Checks. Oop. Is that how it goes? We'll say that's how it goes. This came out 2003 or so. This is one of those examples of a band re-recording a bunch of their material and it sounding really good to me. You know, there's not too many examples of that. I hated it when Suicidal did it. There's a lot more examples that aren't coming to mind right now of like bands fucking with the formula of their original stuff. I still love the originals from the first like 3 or so Slapshot records. I love all those records. I love Back on the Map, Sudden Death Overtime, Step on It. But the re-recorded versions of this are so tight and good. There's a reimagining of Punk's Dead You're Next where it's like super fast. And plus they cover like a lot of their career outside of the first 3 albums, and like kind of freshen up some songs. Some of the quicker songs from their sort of return to form records are on here and stuff. It's really good, worth checking out. And then got a little bit of modern power violence. Let's see, we've got Regional Justice Center and Sex Prisoner. I don't remember where Sex Prisoner are from. I want to say they're from somewhere down south, but I've been wrong about that sort of thing before. Both of these are on To Live a Lie it looks like. RJC is from California. They've been around for a grip. They're really, really good. They play a lot of like bigger hardcore fests with bands that sound nothing like them. They seem to be like pretty much like universally loved across the board by people into all types of hardcore and metal and stuff. They just write really good songs. They're not doing anything super original, you know, it's clinging to that kind of like really stark, bleak kind of power violence, you know. This isn't like songs about like skateboarding hot dogs or anything that like Spaz was doing, you know. It's more along the lines of like No Comment or Crossed Out or Despise You or something like that. But a sound all their own. It's not really lifting stuff from those bands, but just keeping that template of like very short songs, abrupt tempo changes, all that kind of stuff that power violence is known for. Super good. Sex Prisoner I am not as familiar with. I just started like giving their stuff a shot like recently. I've been hearing the name and seeing people talk about them forever. I remember Ross Hodo talking about them on his channel like 2 or 3 years ago. But also really, really good, like true to the game, true to the influences, power violence stuff. And then finally, last but not least, we've got the Crisis Actors demo. This is from 2018. This is a Boston, basically like very anarcho-punk influenced kind of band. Political punk hardcore stuff. Jen, Andy, Jesse, and Chris. Yeah, Chris, the drummer, I've known for quite some time, and has been in a lot of good bands of note. Conversions, and he was in Crucial Unit when he lived in Pittsburgh, and hell of a drummer, super nice guy, Chris. But yeah, I like this demo. Thought I'd pick it up, you know. I try to keep up with what's going on in the Boston scene. I'm not really involved with it anymore. There isn't one right now because of everything being shut down, but I like to, you know, keep my finger on the pulse of what's going on with music. All right, that's it. Bye.